Hello everybody, how's it going guys? Taff coming in with yet another Taff's Word. I'm spoiling you guys this week in 2 days. Well, obviously yesterday, as you knew, it was a season review, just overlooking the season and looking into next season. And I mentioned the retain list and whether it was going to come out. It came out today. For those of you who didn't see it, the only players who at this particular moment were moving on are James Bittner, but only as a player. So what that signals to me is that he's quitting football as a player, but we are in talks with him about a coaching role. So it's not so much James Bittner will be leaving, but he'll be a coach for us and not a player. Marlon Jackson, Callum Geraldo-Martin, Paul Hayes, and then Jamie Turley. A bit of a shame with Jamie Turley because I had high hopes for him 2 years ago when he came to the club. He spent a lot of his time out on loan. I know Wesley didn't fancy him, and obviously Flinney didn't fancy him. But for me, he did look pretty decent. But I think he had an injury, didn't he? It was a pretty nasty injury that kept him out. But it's just the way football goes sometimes, isn't it? I mean, I'm much happier with our backline as it is now than what it was when Feeney started things off, obviously with Jamie Turley and Darren Jones. But there you go. Paul Hayes had a good little half season for us. It was a shame because when we actually signed him on, he couldn't play for us until January. So we were sitting there collecting wages and not playing for us. Hopefully he had a bit of an input on our strikers and obviously giving them the benefit of his experience. Then, obviously, Marlon Jackson. I do feel really sorry for Marlon Jackson. I know some of you may not believe that. But end of the day, the guy just didn't do it for us. There was something about him, obviously, and I really do fear that he's going to move to another League Two club or to a conference team, and he's going to have the season of his life, and he's going to score 20 plus goals. I mean, we think, oh, for God's sake, why couldn't we get that out of him? But as it goes, end of the day, for your striker who's not scoring goals, you're not going to be wanted. And unfortunately for Marlon, he'll be moving on. And the other unfortunate one is Callum Geraldo-Martin, because he looked really good in pre-season, didn't get given an opportunity this season to prove what he can do. And that was it. I mean, injuries really do slow you down as a player and do hold you back. But hopefully they're all fine clubs. Paul Hayes, I'd imagine, will be looking down into the non-league now to see out, a couple of years maybe to see out his career. James Bittner will be coming back as a coach, I hope. And the players who we're talking to, Ben Tozer and Newbley, obviously, who else are we talking to? Did it say we're talking to? I don't think there is anybody else because everybody else is signed up for the season now. So it's mainly Tozer and Newbley that we're talking to, but then also obviously James Bittner then as a coach. If I've missed anybody there, I do apologise. I'll correct it in the description below if I've missed anybody. It is a bit later at night at the moment, and I did have a bit of a long day in work, but you get them sometimes, don't you? But I'm happy with the bulk of our team because we've got a really good team to look forward to next season, especially if we add right and we utilise our contacts to bring in the right loan players, as I mentioned last night. So, there's plenty to look forward to now at the county. I think it's an unfortunate thing to lose players, especially players who obviously played a part in this season. And that's just how it's got to happen, unfortunately. But like I said, exciting times ahead. Flynn, Hatswell, Lenny Lawrence, they recruited rather well, I felt, last summer. But we kept the players and we're keeping them for even longer. So if the right signings are made, I can't see any reason why we can't kick on and push for top 10. Because I think we got to be realistic again next season. Because this season we had to be realistic and say we wanted mid-table. Well, we beat mid-table in my opinion because we finished top half. Although it is a mid-table sort of position, it's still, we still finish 11th place. What we'd be looking for is to progress and finish top 10. So I'd say if we didn't finish in the playoffs, I'd say 8th or 9th would be a step forward. Would we need another cup run? Absolutely. Cup run every season would be bloody beautiful, but as you know, it's not going to happen every season. But a way of making some kind of money would be nice. We're in need of money. We're a fans-run club. We're not putting our money into the club enough, in my opinion. The trust should be rolling out incentives to allow us to do so a little bit more. Hopefully it can help cover some of the deficit, or even push for money to go into the playing budget. To sign that 20 goal a season striker that Flinney's after. But who's out there though at the moment? I mean, John Akindi's been put up for sale. Alex Samuel's been let go. I'd take Samuel back because I felt Flinney got good out of him and could progress him a little bit more. He made the wrong choice going to Stevenage because that didn't work out too well. He signed a 2-year contract and they paid him off just to get rid of him. So he made the wrong call. Would it be worth giving him a second chance? I do believe in second chances, but we'd have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, I don't get as much interaction from you guys anymore. What do you guys think of the retained list? Are you happy with who we've let go? Are you happy with who we're keeping? I mean, it wasn't a big retained list because we didn't have a bunch of players on just 1-year contracts. A lot of them are rolling into next season as well. Hopefully, the likes of... sorry, guys. The likes of Mark O'Brien, the likes of Mika Dimitriou, the likes of Josh Sheehan, Dan Butler, of course. We're going to want to sign them. I just thought of someone who I didn't mention, and that's Josh Labardi. For some reason, I felt that his contract was already agreed upon, but it's not yet. So we're obviously talking to Labardi to extend his. But we need to look to keep these players because they're great players. I mean, every single position we've got a strong League 2 player now. I mean, if you think about it, we got a strong right back in Pipey. We got a strong left back in Butler. We got great centre backs in Scott Bennett, in Mickey Dimitriou and Mark O'Brien. We've got great midfielders. I mean, I'm going to say Matt Dolan. I know he didn't delight everybody this season. Personally, I think it could just be down to an off season because there is a great football player in Matt Dolan, as there is in Frank Newbley, which is why I hope he signs on. Newbley signs on and Tozer signs on. We'll be laughing, especially if Labardi then signs on. If those three sign on, Bittner carries on as a coach, we get a good backup goalkeeper, a young, hungry goalkeeper that's going to really put Joe Day under pressure. We'll get the best out of Joe Day as well. So the 20 goal a season striker, Tom Owen Evans comes back off loan, jumps straight into the team. Lamar Reynolds has come back off loan, is going to possibly be a part of the team next season. And obviously the loan players who we had have all gone back, so the likes of Ben White, Aaron Collins, Sean Mikulski and all that. They're all away now. We're going to look to try and replace them if possible. I mean, I don't know what kind of money the departing players were on. Obviously, we've got Jay Folson and Modou Toure in the mix as well. I'm thinking a forward, a proper forward, and possibly another defender. Maybe one in each position. Maybe one forward, one defender, one midfielder, and one goalkeeper, a young, hungry goalkeeper. We sign them 4 players and then utilise the loan market to add to the squad, add a bit of extra quality to the squad, and I think we're laughing next season, actually. The more I think about it, the more I talk about it now, the more I think we're on to something good next year. I mean, Flinney would have learned a lot. He'd have learned what to do and what not to do. What kind of players could make the kind of difference. What kind of players, what kind of skill sets could have made the differences in the games that we faltered in. Game changers. We don't have what I would call an 8-8 game changer. We don't have a player that could potentially come off the bench, or a player that could be having a bad game but just come up with one little bit of brilliance, like we thought Matt Dolan would be. We don't really have that at the moment, but maybe Flinney might find that kind of player. You never know. There's a lot of good players in non-league these days who we could pinch, and there's a lot of good players being released by bigger clubs who would be looking to jump down a level for first team football. I mean, looking at midfielders, Tommy O'Sullivan got released by Colchester. Would we go back to him? I don't know. He started off really well completely fell off the boil. Hasn't done it at Colchester either, so I don't know. But tell me what you guys think. Who's out there that you know of? Let us know down there. Start the rumour mill if you have to. But let's get talking. Let's get talking a little bit more in the comments, and I promise I will respond to them. All right. Thanks everybody again for watching these blogs. As I always say, I don't particularly enjoy doing them because I hate the sound of my own voice. But as long as you guys enjoy what I do, then I'll keep rolling them out for you. Thanks again, and we'll speak to you next time. Cheerio for now, and as always, up the county.